College football season is right around the corner, and your Texas Longhorns stand alone at the top for the first time ever, you have informed us. Your Longhorns are number 1, followed by Penn State at 2, Ohio State at 3, Clemson 4, Georgia 5, Notre Dame 6, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami rounding out the top 10. So when we first kind of mentioned this, I thought that, okay, it's a big deal. Texas has a ton of hype. This is nothing new. But I feel like you appreciate this way more than I expected.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely do. I mean, this is about Double D. It's, you know what? I deserve this. I've earned this. I had to deal with the Taylor Swift news smacking me in the face. Well, now, I'm going through the fog. What do I see now? I see the Longhorns, number 1 in the preseason for the first time in Texas football history, a long and storied and glorified history, and rightfully so. Yes, I'm very excited, and we're going to beat Ohio State in week 1. How you like that? Yes, I'm very excited. So I just think that, you have to appreciate the little moments in college football. And look, I understand that preseason polls mean nothing. And Denton said yesterday in our text chat, which is, look, 19 of the last 21 preseason number 1 teams have not won the championship. So this isn't necessarily a good thing, but I'm never going to complain about having grown up with a passion for my particular school, and then we finally get to number 1 and not enjoy it, at least for a little while. I know it doesn't mean anything, so I'm not going to hang a banner, and if we start losing games, it's going to be nothing. But at least for now, I'm just going to enjoy the fact that, hey, at this moment, here we are.
Well, it feels correlated, too, because we've seen this in the Heisman race. Like, I remember this from handicapping, Heisman preseason odds, is that very rarely does the Heisman favorite win the Heisman. It's been one of those awards where you've seen some guys with really long odds. We even saw it with Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow's dad took advantage of it. Like, I think it was like 60-1, something crazy like that. So Arch Manning is your favorite. And that's going to be another trend that Texas has to buck, is the Heisman preseason odds usually not mirroring what they are at the end of the season. But I do think this, like, we are setting up Texas with a ton of hype. And I don't mean you personally. I mean, like, the rest of the college football world, because it just feels like in every single category, Texas is the favorite. Arch Manning is a fire deal to where if Texas is anything short of a national champion, like, I know you won't be. Like, you will be disappointed, but I don't think you'll say, like, the earth is crumbling.
Right.
I feel like if Texas doesn't win a national championship, some people will definitely have questions about Steve Sarkisian, about the program, about Arch Manning. Do you think that's fair? Just because the hype is so big right now. So that's what I'm afraid of, is the expectations being so big that if they fall short of anything but perfection, it's going to be, people panicking and saying, really unlogical things about this program.
I will say the hype is definitely too much. Like, I'll be the first to admit it. Do I think Arch can live up to the hype? Yes, I do. I think he's that good. But also, at the same time, when the odds are telling you that Texas is the favorite to win the national title, Texas is the favorite to win the SEC, Texas is the favorite to win this, Arch Manning is the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, like, people get way too excited. It's kind of like with the Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders effect with the Buffs, right? Where immediately it was like, Colorado's going to win the national title. And we all knew Colorado was not going to win the national title. Now, Texas certainly has a chance. They have the roster to do it. But from a hype perspective, from a numbers perspective, yes, it's too much. And the expectations will be sky high. But I certainly think when you look at the roster, I mean, Texas can compete with anyone. They have a couple weaknesses, but then again, everyone does in the top 5, top 10. No team is perfect. So the hype is a lot, but I do feel like Texas can meet it. It's just that, meeting those expectations is going to be a grind because they're going to be there all season long.
Oh, for sure. And for Arch Manning as well. Do you think when you look at the top 10 and you see that there are some teams that don't even have returning quarterbacks, that's where I think some volatility is. And we just talked about one. Arch Manning, obviously, does have some experience, but he is not an entrenched starter. So if you look at this list, Clemson, Penn State, and LSU are the only top 10 teams that return quarterbacks. We've already talked about our, question marks for Ohio State at quarterback. Georgia has some concerns as well, at least in my opinion. When you look at this list, do you think that could be cause for volatility with some of these teams? Because that's why some of the times I don't even like betting on college football, because you see these quarterbacks who have this blue chip billing and they get to, play in actual games and it's just not there. Like we see it all the time, or guys just fall off a cliff like DJ Uiagalelei. So when you look at this list, do you believe the top 10? Do you think this is going to be very similar to what we see at the end of the season?
I think there's going to be some sort of disruption just because of what you mentioned, which is the quarterback situation. Like Ohio State still has not decided on a quarterback. Like it's Julian Sayin or Lincoln Kienholz. Like they're going back and forth. Maybe Sayin has the edge. Alabama named their starting quarterback yesterday, and Ty Simpson. So when you have an entrenched guy like a Drew Aller, we have an entrenched guy like a Kate Klubnik at Clemson, I think those teams have an advantage naturally because of that quarterback play and those guys who have that experience.
Yeah, it feels to me like their floor is higher. Maybe their ceiling isn't higher, but their floor is higher.